You know that feeling when you're replaying a moment in your head? Thinking about the big decisions, the little moments, and all the things you wish you could just change? Well, today we're going to dive into the specific English phrases we use to talk about those exact what-if scenarios.
Oh, we've all been there, right? That little voice in your head just replaying something on a loop, making you think, why did I say that? It's this universal feeling of regret, and we are going to unpack it.
I mean, really think about it for a second. That one conversation, that one choice you made, maybe that one exam. If you could just hit rewind and do it a little differently, just imagine how things might have turned out.
Well, lucky for us, the English language gives us 3 incredibly powerful tools to explore those alternate realities: would have, could have, and should have. So let's dive right in and figure out how we can master them together.
All right, first up we have Section 1, the imaginary past. This is all about using would have to picture a different and very definite version of events.
So what exactly is the imaginary past? Well, it's that alternate timeline you create in your mind. What if you'd actually taken that job in Italy? What if you hadn't forgotten your pen that one day in class?
And here's the key, the really crucial point. We use would have to talk about the certain result in that imaginary timeline. It's basically a direct cause and effect thing. If A had happened, then B definitely would have followed. No maybe about it.
So check out these examples. Getting into Harvard, not meeting your wife, not becoming friends. What's so interesting here is how they lock in a very specific outcome. I would have gotten into Harvard implies it's a sure thing in that other reality, and we wouldn't have become friends, that's presented as a definite, sealed consequence of one tiny little change.
All right, let's move on to Section 2, exploring possibilities. Now, our next tool is a bit of a multitasker, so let's explore the 4 different jobs that could have does for us.
So yeah, unlike the definite world of would have, could have just cracks open a world of possibilities. It can be about an opportunity, a guess, a criticism, or even a lucky escape. Let's take a look at each one.
First up, possibility in the imaginary past. Now, this doesn't mean he definitely would have won, but the chance was there, It was a real opportunity that just slipped away.
Okay, second job, guessing. We do this all the time, right? You're not sure what happened in the past, so you're just throwing out a potential explanation. I mean, maybe you left them at work, maybe on the bus. Could have covers all those possibilities.
Third, and this one's a bit spicy, we use it for criticism. But it's a very specific kind of criticism. It's about something someone didn't do. You're pointing out an action they failed to take. It's a bit of a gentle nudge.
And finally, the lucky escape. It's that huge sigh of relief when a really bad situation was just narrowly avoided. The potential for disaster was totally there, but luckily, it just didn't happen. Whew. Okay, so would have is for certainty, could have is for possibility. Let's move on to our third section, regrets and expectations. Our final tool, should have, takes us into the world of judgment, and it often carries that emotional weight of guilt or maybe even blame. This one really boils down to 2 main functions. The first one is about criticizing a past mistake, and the second is about something that was expected to happen, but, well, it didn't. And here's where it gets really interesting, that subtle difference in criticism. You could have tidied up is about inaction, right? A missed opportunity. But you shouldn't have drunk so much. Whoa, that hits different. That's a direct judgment on a mistake that was made. It just carries more weight, a stronger sense of right and wrong. Okay, Section 4 is up, a real conversation. We've looked at each tool on its own. Now for the really fun part. Let's see how they all weave together in just a normal, everyday chat.
Here we go. A perfect combination right out of the gate. You should have told me. That's the criticism, expressing regret about something that didn't happen. And the result? I would have made some extra food. That's the certain outcome in that imaginary past where you did tell me.
And here's that other use of should have. This is all about a broken expectation. You expected the food to have arrived by now, but it hasn't. Reality just isn't matching up with the plan.
So in response, we get a guess about the past. We don't know why they're late, so we throw out a possibility. They could have forgotten. It's just a guess.
And the scene ends with our other form of criticism, the one about inaction. You could have left some for me. See? You had the opportunity to do something, and you didn't. It's a classic.
And that brings us to our final section, our wrap-up. After seeing all of them in action, let's just pull everything together for one last clear summary.
Okay, think of this simple table as your handy little cheat sheet. Just remember, would have is for that certain result of an imaginary past. Could have is for all the possibilities, the chances, and the guesses. And should have, that's for your regrets, your mistakes, and your broken expectations. That's really the core of it.
And that brings us to our final thought. Now that you have these tools, I want you to think about your own life. If you could go back and revisit one key moment, what choice do you look back on? What should have, could have, or would have you done differently? It's definitely something to think about. Thanks for joining me.